Masechet Chagigah Daf Yudbet Amud Aleph 12a1. We were just saying now that it says Hashta Denafkale, now that it says, and we learn from Lemitzeh Shamayim v'Kitzeh Shamayim that it's a sur to ask what is outside of the world, whether it's going to be Malifnim Alayachor, what was up, down, below, so on and so forth. So then, what do I need from the pasuk? Why do I need a pasuk? So answers the Gemara. Amar Bilazar, says Bilazar, Adam Arishon mina aretz al rakia. Adam Arishon was from the aretz until the rakia. I mean, look how tall he was. He was basically in the height of the entire world. Shneimar lemina yom asher bara Elohim atam al aretz. Vekivan shesarach, but once he went off, hiniach Hakadosh Baruch Hu yadav alav miyato. Hakadosh Baruch Hu touched him and he just minimized him. Pashut, he went like whoop, and he brought him down. He brought him down to size, as they say. Okay? Iniach HaKadosh Baruch Hu yadav alav miyato shneimar achor v'kedem tzartani v'tashet alai kapecha. Since it's written twice, right? The entire concept of yitzartani, okay? So techila gavoa uvasof shafal. That means at the beginning he was very tall, and then afterwards he was cut down to size. This is because of his sin. Kevin shesarach. That's what he says. Since he went off, right? He was sarach, right? He sinned. Rav Yudah Marav says of you the name of Rav. Adam Rishon Misof Haolam VaTzofoya. Adam Rishon, his head, right, mamash, was in the mizrach and his feet were in the marav, meaning from one part of the world until the end of the world. Once he sinned and he became rotten again, that was the word, right? Okay, what does that mean? So here it says, right? Okay, it's either two different things, but a lot of people are just saying that it's two different about the Gvura of Adam Rishon. Okay, and here it's just saying that how he actually brought him down. So says the Gemara, Yehachu, if so, Kashu Kra Edadis. Then we have the stira in the two different psukim, because it says Al Aretz u'Mitzeh Shamayim. So it means that his Gova was from the Aretz until the Shamayim. U'Mitzeh Shamayim Katzeh Shamayim is now saying that it's not the Gova, it's that it's actually going to be right by Katzeu. So says the Gemara, it's the same shiur, meaning that the U'Mitzeh Shamayim v'Katzeh Shamayim, from one point until the other point, or from the land until the heaven, is the exact same size. Okay, the mirchak minas aretz ad shamayim is the same mirchak as ktsei shamayim until ktsei shamayim. So it's the same distance. Okay, if you would actually mamash do the distance, right? Yeah. Ve'amar Rav Yehuda Marav says Rav Yehuda the name of Rav. Asara devarim nivru b'yom harishon. There were 10 things which were created on Yom Harishon. Ve'eluhin. This is what was created in the first day of creation. Shamayim, number 1. Ba'aretz, 2. Tohu, Gimel, right? Daled is Vavohu. Or is number 5. Vachoshech, number 6. Ruach, 7. Mayim, right, is 8. 9 is Midat Yam, and 10 is Midat Laila. By the way, I don't know if you realized that Choshech was a creation. A lot of people think that Choshech is Heder Ha'or, means if you take away light, it becomes dark. It's not true. Darkness was created also. Right? A lot of people, they don't, ask somebody, right? He goes, what does it mean when it's dark? He says, okay, if there's no light, there's dark. No. Darkness was a creation just like light was a creation. Okay? Again, a lot of people don't realize that. Okay? Shamayim v'aretz. Shamayim v'aretz dichtiv bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim v'aretz. So it's mefurash in the Torah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the beginning, he created Shamayim v'aretz. So those are the two things that were created on the first day. Another two things, Tov v'avohu. Right? So it's Tovavo. Or v'choshech, right? Choshech dichtiv v'choshech al pnei tehom. Ve'or dichtiv v'yom Elohim yi or. Okay? So again, that's where probably the mistake comes out, because even though it's written that it's a creation, right? You would have just said that the choshech was already there al pnei tehom, right? But it doesn't say that he created it, or that Hashem said yehi or there should be light, or that, just like the Tovavo. The land was Tovavo. So maybe you can make a mistake that no, it was Tovavo because there was nothing there. Right? Ruach u'mayim dichtiv ve'ruach Elohim elachefet al pnei hamayim. So it's both Ruach and Mayim. Midat Yom u'midat Laila. Dichtiv vayera vayivoker Yom echad. Tana, we learned in a Braita, Tohu. What is Tohu? Right? What is Tohu? So he says, Kav yarok shemakif et kol ha'olam kulo shemimenu yitzah choshech. It's a kav yarok. It's like a green line which goes around the entire world, which from there comes out the choshech. Shneimar Yashet Choshech Sitro Sevivotav Sukato. What does that mean? From here we see that there's like a kav of Choshech, which is Makif the Shemaim. Okay, so that is Tohu. What is Vohu? It says Elu Avanim Amfulamot Umshukaot Batehom Shemen Yotzi Mayim. These are soft stones which are in the abyss, which are in the tehom, which from there comes out water. Shneimar v'nata alav kav tohu ve'avne vohu. So since it says ve'avne vohu, so therefore it's avanim, avne vohu. So that's how we know what it is, right? It's avanim. Ve'haor b'yom rishon ibae. Ask the Gemara, was light created on the first day? It's written in the Torah, v'yiten otam Elohim b'rikei hashamayim, which there we're talking about the sun and the moon and the stars and the constellations. But there it's written, that was only the fourth day. It was only on Wednesday. It wasn't on the, right? It was the fourth day of creation. It wasn't on, what's it called? It wasn't on the first day. So answers the Gemara, like Rabbi Elazar. The Amar Rabbi Elazar, says Rabbi Elazar, the light of the first day was not the natural light of the sun. It was a certain type of a light that you were able to see from one part of the world until the end of the world. You were able to see the entire world, right? Yeah, you were able to see the entire world with this light. Now with this light, you were able to see also even Dora Mabul and Dora Palaga, right? That there are actions. Remember the generation of the flood, of the Tower of Babel, Amadu Gnazo. So then he went and he took it away. Shneimar, as it says in the pasuk, this is the Ora Ganuz, which is the first original light. The Manam Reshaim Oram, right? But it says he's going to refrain from the Reshaim his or. So who did he give it to them? What's the purpose of creating this light and then afterwards putting it away? He says no. The tzaddikim latil lavo, for the tzaddikim in the future. Shneimar, vayad Elohim et haor ki tov. He saw that this light was very good. Then tov el tzaddik. Who is the tov? Tov is always the tzaddikim. The tzaddikim are tov. Shneimar, imru tzaddik ki tov. Kevan shera'a or genazot tzaddikim. Since he saw that the tzaddik is tov, that he took this or, right, the or ganuz, and he put it for the tzaddikim. Samach, and he was happy. The or was so happy. Shneimar, or tzaddikim ismach. What does that mean? The or was happy because now he's going to be rejoicing with the tzaddikim. So the or was actually happy. And even though the or was taken away, and it's not going to be put until the tzaddikim come, it was worth it for him. Because sometimes it's worth the wait in order to get, right, the good stuff. Yeah? Fine. Says the Gemara, really the Gemara says, Ketanai, no, be'emet, it's a machok ketanai. Why? Or shebarak HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'yom harishon adam tzaveh v'dizod v'nom tzofo, tivre Rabbi Yaakov. So according to Shidat Rabbi Yaakov, this light that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created, you were able to see from the beginning of creation of the world until the end of the world. He says, Chachamim omerim, henen meorot sheniviru b'yom harishon v'lo nitzul b'yom. He says, no. The sun, the moon, the stars, everything was created by Yom Harishon. But it wasn't hung, meaning it wasn't put into place until Yom Revi'i. Capish? Meaning that those were the same ones, according to Chachamim. Remember, it's the Chachamim, it's the majority of the rabbis. The other one was one opinion. Right? According to the Chachamim, it was created already by Yom Harishon. It just wasn't Nitru B'Shamayim until Yom Revi'i. That's when it was put. Okay? So Amar Rav Zutria Bar Tuvia. Says Rav Zutra Bar Tuvia Amar Rav and the name of Rav. Ba'asara devarim nivra ha'olam. Right? In 10 things the world was created. Right? You took a video, no? Yeah, he says, Ba'asara devarim nivra ha'olam. What does that mean? He says, number 1, chokhmah. 2, bitvuna. Right? So with wisdom, with understanding, with gimel, dat, which is knowledge. Number 4, koach, with strength. Right? Number 5, ge'ara. Ge'ara is usually screaming, but we have to understand what it means here. Here's in the zifa. Okay, because he was ga'ar ba'olam lamido. He had to scream to it to stay in a certain place. Right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu screamed at the world. He screamed at the world in order that it should not go after this gevulot, that it shouldn't. Yeah, ge'ara is like a screaming. Right? So he says, give bigvura, strength. Right? Zayin, tzedek, with justice. Mishpat, tzedek is righteousness. Justice is mishpat. Chesed is chesed. And rachamim, right, is mercy. So these are the 10 things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. The Marsha, beautifully, right, that he comes and he says, the Marsha says that we're talking about the 10 sefirot. So this is Al-Pi Kabbalah. It means each one of these 10 is the Eser sefirot the world was created with. Right, and he explains, Keter, Chokhmah, Binah, Chesed, Gvura, Tefillah, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut, and then he continues. Okay, next, B'Chokhmah u'Bitvuna. right? We're talking about with wisdom and understanding. It says in a pasuk, Hashem bechokma yasad haaretz konen shamayim mitvuna. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, right? Or he founded the world with chokma, with wisdom. Konen shamayim va'aretz. He prepared the world with konen shamayim mitvuna, with understanding. B'da'at tichtiv b'datot tehomot nivkau. With da'at, with knowledge, HaKadosh Baruch Hu took out the tehom, right? The abyss, right? And it says v'koach ugura, with strength, right? And also it's another form of strength, right? Dichtiv mechin harim bekochon nezar bigura. Giara dichtiv amudei shamayim yirofefu v'itmahu. Right, and then they got afraid. Migarato from the Giara HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from the screaming of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedek u'mishpat dichtiv, it says tzedek u'mishpat b'mechon kisecha b'chesed v'rachamim dichtiv tzchor rachamech Hashem v'chazdecha ki me'olam hema. Says the Gemara ve'amar Rav Yehuda amar Rav. Says Rav Yehuda in the name of Rav. B'shah shebara HaKadosh Baruch Hu et ha'olam היה מרחיב והולך כשתי פקיות של שתי. Right? He comes and he says like this. At the time, so, ואמר רב יהודה אמר רב, says רב יהודה in the name of Rav, בשעה שברא הקדוש ברוך הוא את העולם, היה מרחיב והולך כשתי פקיות של שתי. So he comes and he says, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, he was, he's widening the world, right? Like שתי פקיות of sheti. Basically, how do you say it in English? These are the two, there's sheti and erev. There's the horizontal, yes, thank you.
That's not the word.
But there's something like that. I don't know how you said it in English. It's pakiyat of salil shechut surah b'tucho. It's something which the
loom. It's
the loom. That's what it is. Okay,
the
loom.
The machine is the loom.
Okay, that's what it is. You have to come and use. That's how he was making it like that until HaKadosh Baruch Hu was ga'arbo v'mido and he stopped it. Shnemaras amudei shamayim yirafu v'yitnu b'garato v'aynu damar hashakish. That's what it means. It was mean the pasuk Ani El Shaddai. What does it mean El Shaddai? Ani hu she'amarti le'olam dai. I was the one that I told the world die. Why? Because if not, I had to tell it enough. Right? Because if not, it kept on going. So I had to tell it enough. Yeah, die. It's enough. Okay. Amar Shakish says it Shakish. Mishash HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Right? When HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the Yam, Hayam Archiv ve'olech HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'yibeshu, and then he dried it up. Shneimar Guer b'yam v'yibeshev v'chol enot techriv. This is what I told you before. Right? It says. Here it says. לא שכאשר אמר אלוקי כבוד מדבר בכל לך הים ירחיב, שזה מאמר מצמצם, ודאי לא ירחיב ים מלחמתו. But it was because once it was called a yam, מקרה המים קרא ימים, so then it became like a yam. So the yam is מתפשט inside of the chof, until HaKadosh Baruch Hu was ga'ar bo, and then it did not go into the chof, right? And therefore he put a gvul samta, bal yavarun. What is the gvul? The gvul is the sand, bal yavarun, that they cannot pass it. Okay?
When he separated the Maimonides.
Tanu Rabbanan, right? Tanu Rabbanan. He says like this. Bet Shamayim Bet Shamayim says Shamayim v'Aretz nivru techila. Ve'achar kach nivret Aretz. First was the Shamayim, and then afterwards was the Aretz. Shneimar b'Shiva Elohim et Shamayim. Ve'et Aretz. First was the Shamayim, then Aretz. But Hillel omrim no. Eretz nivret techila. First it was land, and then was the Shamayim. Shneimar b'yom asot Hashem Elokim Eretz v'Shamayim. So Malam bet Hillel b'Shol direchem Adam boneh aliyah ve'rak achar boneh bayit. I don't understand. You make a second floor before making the ground floor. Shneimar aboneh v'Shamayim ma'aloto ve'agudato al Eretz Yisada. Right, first you build the ground floor, which is the Eretz, and then the Shamayim. Amar lem Bet Shamayim Bet Zitzo Bet Shamayim answers Bet Hillel. Divrichem, and according to you, Adam says shrafraf. Says what? First you're going to make the shrafraf, which is like the, how do you call the banquito? The small, which one? No, in English. The footstool. Right, you're going to make it before making the chair. First you make the chair, then you make the stool. Shneimar ki kol Hashem Shamayim kisi v'aretz adom reglai. Chachamim say, not like Bet Shamayim and Bet Hillel, it was at the same time. Shneimar, af yadi asda eretz v'miniti pichash shamayim, which means my hand did the eretz. V'mini was the shamayim. Koreh ani elo alehem yandu yachtav, which means that it was together. It was created together, not separate times. So says the Gemara, according to the other opinions, Bet Shamayim Bet Hillel, ma yachtav. What does it mean yachtav? Yachtav means together. So he says, delo mishtalfe me'adadi, that they're not going to be detached from each other. Which means that they were never, right, even now, they were always holding on to each other. You have the Shamayim v'Aretz always connected, right? The heaven and the earth are always connected. It was never detached. So says the Gemara, Kashu Krayadade, so 1 second. But the Psukim are a stira to themselves, meaning that Shamayim Bet Hillel, each one had a pasuk to prove their point, that first the Shamayim was built, and then the Aretz, or the Aretz, and then the Shamayim. They both had a pasuk. When he created them, he first created the Shamayim and the Aretz. But when he put them in their place, then he put, so same thing that we said before about the sun and the moon and everything. He created them on one day and then he put them in the place in another day. The same thing. First he created the Shamayim, Then he created the Aretz. But when he actually put it into the world, he first put the Aretz and then the Shamayim. So then it was actually, they were both correct. My Shamayim. My Shamayim, what is Shamayim? Amar Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina says, Yosef Bar Chanina, Sham Mayim. That there's water. So that's what it means. Sham Mayim. Sham Mayim. Over there was water. Because there's water in the Shamayim. No, it's Eshu Mayim. Shamayim is an acronym. Esh, the shin of the Shamayim is Esh Mayim. Shamayim Eshu Mayim. Right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu took the fire and the water, he mixed them together, he made a cholent, and he put the rakia, he made the firmament. So Rabbi Yishmael comes and he asks Rabbi Akiva when they were going on the path. Amarlo, he told them, did you do shimush by Nachum Ishkamzu? Remember that Rabbi Akiva, he did shimush by Nachum Ishkamzu, it's 22 shana, 22 years he did shimush by Nachum Ishkamzu. Nachum Ishkamzu, right? Gamzu Letova. Yeah. By the way, that's how I explained the pshat why Nachum Ishkamzu was Gamzu Letova and Rabbi Akiva was Kol Madavid Rachmana Letavavid. He learned that from Nachum Ishkamzu because he was Mishamesh Oto. But there was a difference between them because Gamzu Letova is not the same as Kol Madavid Rachmana Letavavid. Gamzu Letova means it would have been good both ways. Gamzu Letova, the Gamzu Letova. Why? If he would have brought to the emperor the jewels, the diamonds, it would have been good. Or if he would have brought the dirt, Gamzu Letova, both of them were good. The pshat of Rabbi Akiva was, Kol Ma'David Lachman David, it has to be this way. Meaning, if it wasn't for the fact that they would have killed, right, the donkey, his rooster, and the light turning off, it wouldn't have been good. Meaning, it had to be this. Kol Ma'David Lachman David. It's two different yesodot. But the concept, though, was because he was Mishamesh Nachum Ishkamzu for 22 years. I just gave you now gold. Yeah, diamonds I gave you. Right? Gamzu Letova, yeah? Shaya Doreshet Kol Etim Shabbatorah. So therefore he says, were you Mishamesh Nachum Ishkamzu, that he was Mishamesh Kol Etim Shabbatorah? So he says, Eta Shamayim Eta Aretz, Maya Doreshmet. What was he Doresh in Eta Shamayim, the Eta Aretz? Amalo, he says, Ilu Nema Shamayim Ba'aretz. If it would have been written only Shamayim Ba'aretz, so then I would have just said, Ayiti Omer Shamayim is the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Right? Achshav Shenema, but now it says, Eta Shamayim Ve'eta Aretz. Shamayim Mamash, Eretz Eretz Mamash. I would have thought that maybe Shamayim is the name of Hashem. Right? But it says, Shamayim Ba'aretz. It says, no. Now that it says, Eta Shamayim Ve'eta Aretz, so now I know that each one is a name on its own. And each one is a separate thing in itself. Okay? Yud Bet Amubet, 12b. Eta Aretz Lamali. Why do I have the word Eta Aretz? Lagdim Shamayim la'aretz, be magdim Shamayim to the aretz, which means if it would have been eta aretz, so I would have said that Shamayim aretz was in one. Because you can't say two words in one, so therefore it says eta Shamayim ve'eta aretz to teach you, right, that the Shamayim be'emet was kadmu la'aretz. That's what we learned before. Shamayim was before the aretz, and the only thing is it was put into place the opposite way, right? When it was put into this place. The aretz hayta tovavo, and the land was tovavo. Michti, let us see. But Shamayim atchil bereisha, at the beginning it started with Shamayim. So if we're talking about the Shamayim at the beginning, as it says it's the Shamayim Aretz, why do we immediately go and start talking about the Aretz, which is the Aretz Hayta Tovavo? Speak about the Shamayim. So So imagine right now you have a king that he comes and he tells the servants, "Come to my house." Right, and he gets up and he sees men and women. Who's he going to tell them? Who's he going to say, Chazak Baruch? To the people that they don't get up early. Right, and they did. So therefore, he's going to be Meshabeach the Nashim, because usually women wake up much later than men. So because of that, right, he comes and he says, so he's going to be Meshabeach the women much more than the men. Men, anyway, they wake up early. The women are the ones that wake up at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. They're the ones that wake up much later. So he says, so the Nimshal is the same thing. Since HaKadosh Baruch Hu came and he created Shamayim Techila, and then so therefore the Aretz could have come and given Namtila, listen, you created me last. And still the Aretz was there, so therefore he went and he started praising the Aretz before the Shamayim. Tanya, we learned in the Braita, Rabbi Yosef says, Oy lahem lebriot sheroot ve'enan yodot maroot. Woe to the briot that they see, but they don't even know what they're seeing. Meaning the creations they see, but they don't even know what they're seeing. Omdot, they stand, but they don't know what they're standing on. Ha'aretz al ma'omedet. What is the land standing on? Ala amudim, on amudim. Shneimar, but it says in a pasuk, Hamargiz eretz minkomav amudai yitpalatzum. Amudim, right? And these amudim, or what are they standing on? On water. Shneimar, but it says in the pasuk, leroka haaretz alamayim, to place the aretz alamayim. Mayim is standing on what? On Harim, on mountains. Shneimar alarim yamnu mayim. Harim is standing on ruach. Shneimar kinei yitzarim avored ruach. Ruach, right, is v'se'ara. Shneimar ruach se'ara usadavro. Se'ara is hanging on, right, the zrosh HaKadosh Baruch Hu, on the arm of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shneimar umitachat zeroot olam. And by the way, this is where the goyim, right, Lavdila of the Lord, they got their concept that the entire world is on, you know, these elephants, or I don't know why that the kili they're holding up the entire world. You ever saw that? Chachamim say, the entire world is standing upon 12 pillars. Okay? ויש אומרים on 7 pillars. שנאמר, right? חוכמות נשים בנתה ביתה, right? This is חצבה עמודי השבעה, רבי אלעזר בן שמוע אומר, על עמוד אחד, וצדיק שמו, שנאמר וצדיק יסוד עולם. Again, all these things are obviously very deep concepts that the entire world is, basically depending on or supported by, whether it's going to be 12 pillars, what are those pillars, 7 pillars, what are those pillars, one pillar that's tzaddik, obviously each one has its, there's a lot of musar, there's a lot of deep things which you can learn from here, okay? Amar Rav Yehuda says, Shner reki'im hem, really be'emet, there's 2 reki'ims. Shneimar b'zeh the pasuk, ken la'Hashem Elokecha shamayim u'shmei hashamayim. What does it mean? Shamayim is rakia echad. Shemei hashamayim is the rakia sheni. The Shaki says, Shiv'ar reki'im. Really, be'emet, there's 7 reki'im. Ve'elu hen, and these are the 7 reki'im. Vilon, rakia, shechakim, zevul, ma'on, machon, and aravot. So here we're learning that there's 7 firmaments in the heavens, right? That's why, by the way, if you remember the chet, right? When you're saying Kriyat Shema, how are you supposed to say Kriyat Shema? The aleph is cut off, right? Echa, immediately, right? You go into the chet. Because if you take too long in the aleph of echad, you're saying that there's 3 explanations in the Acharonim that Hashem is not one. Chas v'shalom. A person has to be very, very good. He shouldn't do echad. No. The second you do too long, it's a mistake. That's how you know if the person knows a halacha or not, right? Shulchan Aruch mefurash, Gemara mefureshet, very important. Echa, you cut off the aleph. Chet, well, you have to take it shlish. What is shlish? You have to remember, right? The zayin reki'im, the 7 firmaments, and the land here, right? Right? No. That's a dalit. 1 second. Right? That's a dalit. Right? The chet is the zayin reki'im and the thing. Now the dalit is the dalit ruchot hashamayim, and you have to remember that the dalit is shnei shlish, right? So I challenged a lot of people many times. Shnei shlish means that in time span, the dalit is supposed to take you double the time what takes you the chet, right? Maram mefurash, nobody argues, right? What does that mean? That's why the Mishnah Berurah says that you can't do the dalit with the dagesh, because if you do a dalit with the dagesh, it's also wrong. You're not supposed to do echad. No, it's not de, right? There's no de, right? So therefore, that's why a person bat, right? If person, yeah, it's soup, right? I know, but not only that, right? But not only that, also it's wrong in the diktuk also. So that's why the only way to really do it is the way that you do it with the dalit, like the temanim, right? Which that was also the way that they used to do it in Morocco without a dagesh, right? With a dalit, right? And therefore, we're doing chad, right? We're doing the. That dalit has to be double longer than the chet, right? Why double? Because the chet is shlish and the dalit is shnei shlish. That's what the halacha says. That's what you have to have in mind. Also, 100%. That's who is one. Vilon. Next is vilon. What does it mean, vilon? Eno mishamesh kelum. The vilon, which is again. That was the first. Sorry, that's the okay. Depends. The first one depends where you're going from the bottom, from the land going upwards. The vilon, which is like the curtain, eno mishamesh klum. And anichnas shachrit yotzer arvit. But rather, what happens is, right? Right. It says over here like this. Vilon.
It's just above us.
Yes, the lowest one, lowest rakia is vilon. So it says over here, vilon is eno mishamesh klum. And anichnas shachrit yotzer arvit. It's going to come in. Right into the tik, in the ores, right, which is after and going to go out in arvit. And he's going to create, right? That's what it means, mechadesh b'chol yom, through the vilon, right? When he comes and opens and closes the vilon, right? That's how he's creating again shamayim va'aretz every single time. Shneimar onte kadok shamayim v'yimtachem ka'ohel lashevet. Rakia. What does it mean, rakia? Shebo chama u'levanan kochavim mazilot kevuin. Because that's when the chama, levana, kochavim mazilot kevuin, it's all going to be kavua. Shneimar says the pasuk, vayiten otam elokim birkia shamayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to come, he's going to be birkia shamayim. Shechakim. What does it mean, shechakim? Shebo rechaim omdot v'tochanom man l'tzadikim. There, the rechaim are going to be standing, and it's going to be tochanot, man for the tzadikim. Shneimar, vaytzav shechakim mimal v'davtei shamayim patach vayamter alehem man le'echol. So that was the shechakim. So again, we had the vilon, but it doesn't really do anything. The rakia, that's where the chama levanak, that they're kavua in the rakia, so it's the upper firmament, right? And then you have above that is the shechakim, right? So imagine what it is, if that, what it takes for them to go to the moon and the sun and all. So that's only the second level of the world, right? Of the firmaments. So think about that. Like mamash. Yeah. So imagine. Yeah. So then it says shechakim is the rechaim omdot v'chonom tzadikim. That's the man. Okay. Zevul shebo Yerushalayim u'beit hamikdash mizbeach banui Michael sar hagadol omer makriv korban. In Zevul you have Yerushalayim shel mala. You have the upper Jerusalem. You have the Beit Hamikdash. You have the mizbeach. You have Michael sar hagadol. Michael sar Yisrael. He's over there and he's bringing the korbanot. Shneimar. So says the Gemara, okay, fine. That was in which one? That was in Zevul, which again, that's not even in Ma'on, Machon, or Aravot, right? That means that's only the fourth level in Zevul, and you already have Yerushalayim Shel Mala. So says the Gemara, Menalan, I don't know why it stopped and it didn't explain what happened with Ma'on, Machon, and Aravot, but all of a sudden it stops and it says, Umenalan diikre shamayim. Now I understand why, because we're asking on Zevul. How do we know that Zevul is considered Shamayim? Because it's written over there. It's talking about the Beit HaMikdash. So he says Shalmata. So he says Dichtiv Habet Mishamayim Ur'eh Mizevul Kodshecha V'Tipartecha. So if we look from the Shamayim and see the Zevul from the Zevul Kodshecha V'Tipartecha. So if that Zevul is actually called a Shamayim. Ma'on. What about Ma'on? So it says Shebo Kitot Shamalachei Hasharet Shomlot Shiro Balayla. It says the Kitot of Malachei Hasharet that they're saying Shira in the nighttime. And they're going to be quiet during the day because of the kavod of Israel. Which means during the day, the malachim, they're quiet to do chesed with tachtonim. In the nighttime, that's when they come and they start praising HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Amar Shakish says Shakish, Kol Oseh B'Torah B'Layla. That's why if somebody's going to learn Torah in the nighttime, HaKadosh Baruch Hu moshech alav chut shel chesed b'yom. He's going to put on him a chut shel chesed b'yom shneimar. Ma tzvei Hashem chasto, u'ma ta'am yomem mitzvei Hashem chasto. Mishum b'layla shira yimim. Because in the nighttime they're learning Torah. Ikadam l'nitzav yibuzeh Amar Shakish says Shakish Kol Oseh B'Torah B'Olam Hazeh shu domeh laleh. Anybody that's going to learn Torah in this world, which is compared to nighttime, HaKadosh Baruch Hu moshech alav chut shel chesed b'yom haba. It's going to be shel chut shel chesed b'yom haba shlehu domeh liyom, but it's going to be compared to the yom. Shneimar yomem mitzvei Hashem chasto b'layla shira yimim. Amar Rabbi Levi says Rabbi Levi. Anybody that's going to come and is going to be stopping from learning divrei Torah, he's going to make a pasek, yeah, and he's going to be osek b'divrei sicha. Stam going to start talking. They're going to give him to eat something very tasty, right? They're hot coals. They're going to start giving him to eat. Shneimar says in Pasuka, which means that they're going to be kotea divrei Torah, which are written in the Luchot. So because of sicha, so therefore they're going to get the retamim is going to be their food. So how do we know that this one is also called, right? Ma'on is called the shamayim. They're going to look down from the on kodshecha, which is from the shamayim. So that's also shamayim. Machon, which is machon l'shiptecha. Yeah, machon is the sixth one, right? The second last one. It says shebo otzrot sheleg veotzrot bara vayalat tlalim ra'im v'niyat paliat agalim chadra shel zufal zara me'ara shel kitor v'datuden esh. So their fire is actually fire. So imagine what you have there. You got snow, you got hail, you got all these the good dew. Ayalat agalim. What is this here? Guma of mine. It says here it's like egletal. Okay, aganasar. Okay, it's the whole thing here. Chudashu zval seara, storms. All these things come from there. Shneimar says pasuk yiftach Hashem lecha totzeroto. Yeah, so he says HaKadosh Baruch Hu will open up totzeroto tov. Habirkia yitznu. He says 1 second. I thought these things were all in the rakia, right? So he says, are they're in the rakia? These are in the land, they're not in the rakia. So you see from here, all this is in the land, right? But he's saying mina aretz. It's not in the rakia. It's not in the firmament. Some of you David no. David Amelech, he asked rachamim for them, and therefore they brought it down to the aretz. But it says, he says, right? He comes and he says that you don't want resha, you don't want bad. He says it shouldn't be up there, it should be down here, right? So therefore he comes and he says it's not nice. You have all these puranuts and all these things of bad things that they're in the shamayim. It should be in the aretz. So therefore he says, how do you know the machon is called shamayim? Right? So mechon shiftecha is from the shamayim. Aravot is the seventh one. Okay, Aravot is the upper one, the most upper one, the seventh one. Okay, it says here, Shebo tzedek mishpat utztaka ginze chayim ginze shalom ginze bracha v'nishmatan tzel tzadikim v'ruchot v'neshamot shatidim libarot v'tal shadikosh baruch hu le'achyo b'metim. So imagine you have there tzedek mishpat, righteousness, justice, ginze chayim, shalom, bracha, the neshamot of the tzadikim forever, for eternity, the ruchot neshamot of all the people that are going to be born afterwards, the tal, which is a dew that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring for Tchiyat HaMetim, tzedek mishpat dechtiv tzedek mishpat mechon kisecha, right? So therefore it's written over there that the kiseh kavod, because it's mechon kisecha, the kiseh kavod is in Aravot, as we're going to explain. Tzedakah dechtiv v'dibas tzedakah kashivyon, right? Like a shidiyah, it's going to be in the tzedakah, right? Ginzeh chayim dechtiv ki mecha mekor chayim beruchan niror, right? Ki mecha mekor chayim, it's by you. Ginzeh shalom dechtiv v'ikal lo Hashem shalom. So therefore it's going to be by him. Ginzeh bracha dechtiv yisa bracha met Hashem, right? That it's by Hashem. Right? So it's going to be by me. Also the tal also the tal of Tchiyat HaMetim says the pasuk Geshem nedavot tanif elokim nachlatcha minat achonanta, that you put it where Sham, right, is over there in the seventh one. You're going to have Ofanim, Seraphim, Chayot HaKodesh, Malachei HaSharek, Kisei Kavod, Melech El Chai Rav Nisa Shochen Aleim. You have everything there. Right, the Seraphim, the Ofanim, Chayot, Malachei HaSharet, Kisei Kavod, everything's there in Aravot. Shneimar Solu larochev baravot b'yashemo, in the name of Hashem. So the Gemara says, how do you know that one is called Shamayim? Not Likar Shamayim. Atia rechiva, it's a Gezerah Shava. Rechiva, but it says Solu larochev baravot u'ktivat Malachei Shamayim bezerechov gavato shechakim. Yeah, in the Varim over there. So, right, so he says, right, in Mezuzot HaBracha. You have choshech anan v'arafel, which is surrounding us. That's in Tehillim. So says the Gemara, does there exist choshech in front of, right, in Lifnei HaShamayim? It's written, Hu galei mikta u'mistatra yadam b'ma b'chashocha u'nhorai meshera, which is that he's going to be megalei amukot v'nisarot. He's going to be megalei amukot. He's going to reveal by the depths. By yodei b'choshech ve'or imoshoret. It's going to be only light. La kashya, says the Gemara, it's not a question. Ha, right? Bebate gavai veha bebate barai. One of them is the inner rooms, and one of them is the outer rooms. Okay, so therefore, right, there's a difference between them. So that's what he says over here, that it's going to be the chatzera chitzona, right? So that's in the chatzera pnimi. So that's what he's saying. Makom yesh right gavoya after segam alechem alad means they can't even see Hashem. It's like there's an inner rooms, but that's why that's bate gavai. That's the inner places, and then bate barai, the outer place. We continue with Hashem tomorrow.